Commanders fans. So, tough news here. But the thing is about these injuries, I don't want Ron Rivera to use this as an excuse because we were bad when these guys were healthy. Sam Cosmi now, we just learned this from Ben Standig. He reported it first. He said Sam Cosmi suffered a hand injury against the Cowboys on Sunday. So, and they're concerned that he could miss a couple of weeks. Now, also, he's going to meet with a doctor today. This is also from Nikki Javala. Sam Cosmi suffered a hand injury Sunday's loss to the Cowboys. There's a worry he could miss time, but he's expected to see a doctor tomorrow to know more per sources first by Ben Standig. So we've already, Chase Rouillet has been out. Trey Turner is just awful anyway. So now Sam Cosmi most likely is going to miss time with a hand injury. I feel like there was another injury on the offensive line that's happened, but the offensive line has just been abysmal so far anyway. It's just been abysmal. Chase Rouillet, now Cosmi, and Trey Turner is just awful. The Commanders are just terrible. So I don't want him to use this as an excuse because last year he tried to use the safety protocol. And I get it. Yes, there were a lot of injuries last year. There were health and safety protocols. But a lot of this is on Ron, too, with the depth. He did not address any depth across any position except for really wide receiver. And that's about it because we don't have any depth. He needs to go out and sign Eric Flowers. I know he's on his high horse. And who's to say that Eric Flowers wants to come back, to be honest with you? Who's to say he really wants to come back? Because we just need offensive line depth and help really bad. Tyler Larson is finally coming back off of IR, but that can only help so much. I think we legitimately have the worst offensive line in the NFL, and we have a quarterback that holds the ball the most in the NFL as well. So that's a combination for failure. And for 9-sack games, or giving them 9 sacks, giving them 8 sacks, 7, 6, 5 sacks, it's a recipe for disaster for sure. Other injury, Jahan Dotson. This from Ben Standig as well. Ron Rivera says, quote, wide receiver Jahan Dotson might keep him out a week or two, end quote. The rookie's tied for NFL leading with 4 receiving touchdowns. He's a dog, man. He is. We just need all our receivers need more touches. All of them. But we can't get him the football because our offensive line is just awful. Starting as well. And I don't want to hear anything about injuries. Because I know Ron's going to make it as an excuse. Ron Rivera, he was in the press conference yesterday, he was dropping F-bombs and said the shiggity word. And he's getting all, fights with reporters. We see this every single year. It's the same old song with Ron. It's the same old song. I really can't wait for this guy to go. But it's do or die this week. A lot of people were saying the Cowboys game was a must-win game. This game is a must-win game. These next two games are a must-win. You got to beat the Titans. The Titans are a good team. I'm not sleeping on them at all. Tannehill is solid. He's a solid quarterback. Derrick Henry is probably, you could argue, the best running back in the league. If not best, top 3 for sure. Robert Woods is good. Bud Dupree is a good pass rusher. They got a good pass rush, and that concerns me a lot. They have a good pass rush. We can actually win this game, and I hate saying this, but I'm not optimistic about this team at all. But I actually see us having a chance to win this game, and especially they really should beat the Bears. But this coaching staff has been so awful to the point where I'm not confident about these games. I'm just not. I'm really not. The best news is about Brian Robinson. He's activated from the PUP list. Ron Rivera said Brian Robinson was cleared by the doctors after sustaining gunshot wounds in August. The team has 21 days to put him on the active roster starting Wednesday. So Rivera also said that he's optimistic that Brian Robinson will be back this week. So we'll see. I mean, we don't want to rush the young man back, but thank the Lord that the bullet went and didn't hit any muscles or tendons or whatever, any tissues or whatever. And he's medically cleared, man. So he is going to give a boost to the offense. That's why, it gives me more confidence that we do have a chance to beat the Titans and the Bears, with a strong running game, helping Carson Wentz out. When Carson Wentz was at his best last year, we don't have a Jonathan Taylor on this roster, but just a strong running game, just an effective running game can help. So, and I think the Titans did a good job stopping Jonathan Taylor last week, but they gave up a lot of rushing yards to the Raiders. And they've given up a good amount of rushing yards to the Giants as well. So I think we have a chance. Call me crazy, but I actually think we have a chance. I really do. So Sadiq Charles will remain the starting guard, and then Chase Young will remain on IR right now. So they're not taking him off the PUP list or injury reserve, whatever he's on. They're going to just, wait. I mean, he tore his ACL in November, so the best thing is not to rush this guy back. But yeah, we'll see with Brian Robinson, man. I'm intrigued. I do want to see him play, but again, of course, I don't want him to be rushed back. And I think Ron Rivera sounds optimistic. So And then he talked about, you know, the 3-year rebuild or whatever, fans being upset. This is the quote. He said, "I understand the history of what's going on here for a while. And we're trying to change that. It won't happen overnight. And it won't be easy. If anyone thought it would be easy, you're crazy. I tried to get that across last season," end quote. Bruh, you said 3 years, 3 to 5 years, and we've gotten worse each year. Seriously, we've gotten worse. We were bad last year. We barely sneaked into the playoffs his first year with the Commanders or Washington football team, and now this roster really is worse. Other than the wide receiver position, the corners are awful. We have no offensive line. Our offensive line is worse. Brandon Sheriff walking, Eric Flowers going. Our offensive line is way worse than what it was last year. Cornelius Lucas is going to have to step up. He's probably going to have to start. Sadiq Charles is going to remain the starting right guard. His offensive line regressed, man. It's gotten worse since Ron Rivera has been here. It's gotten worse. The corners have gotten worse. You can pinpoint specific positions where we've gotten worse. Quarterback play hasn't really gotten much better either. So, and that's the sad thing. It really hasn't gotten much better with Ron Rivera here. There is no optimism in the future years here with Ron Rivera, especially this coaching too. So, hate to be doom and gloom, but hey, it is what it is. You just gotta be real, keep it honest, man. Seriously. But like I said, on a positive note, I really do think we have a legitimate chance to win the next 2 games. All right, you guys, Hell to Commanders. Peace. One last thing I wanted to say about Jahan Dotson potentially missing 1 to 2 weeks with a hamstring injury is that it gives other guys an opportunity to step up. I know they're not targeting Terry enough and giving him the ball enough, but it gives guys like Cam Sims, I think he needs more targets and opportunities. And I want to see what De'Ami Brown could do. De'Ami Brown got snaps in the last couple seconds of the Cowboys game. Can he show that he can catch the football and make big plays? That's what I want to see. I want to see some other guys step up and get opportunities. And maybe this is their chance to finally get some targets. Cam Sims and De'Ami Brown. And maybe even Dax Milne. We'll see. But, I mean, wide receiver is not the problem, but that's just something I'm looking at. So, but all right, that's my son in the background. All right, y'all.